We are a country that is admired all over the world. Ever since Magna Carta, centuries ago, we've been a country that have enjoyed better freedoms, better liberties, better rights than virtually anywhere else in the world. And of course, that's why we are a democracy.
Indeed, the Magna Carta, issued in 1215, is a significant milestone in the United Kingdom's legal and democratic history, and is seen as a foundational document of constitutional law in many other countries. It introduced ideas that have been essential in the development of human rights and liberties, and thus the document is highly respected globally. However, the assertion that the UK has consistently enjoyed better freedoms, better liberties, and better rights than virtually anywhere else in the world requires additional context. The terms better freedoms, better liberties, and better rights can be subjective and may vary based on cultural, historical, and political perspectives. The UK has certainly been influential in the development of democratic principles and has a long history of democratic governance. But it's essential to note that there are several other countries that also have strong democratic traditions and robust rights and liberties. Additionally, the state of liberties, rights, and freedoms in any country, including the UK, fluctuates over time and can be influenced by various factors such as changes in government, policy adjustments, or societal shifts.
In fact, we invented the very concept of parliamentary democracy. And on May the 1st this year, nearly all of the English county council elections are due to give you the opportunity to vote for really important stuff. You know, who runs the roads, the potholes, who's in charge.
While it's indeed correct that England has a long history of parliamentary democracy, dating back to the signing of Magna Carta in the 13th century, it's essential to clarify the claim of invention. The concept of parliamentary democracy as we know it has roots in several cultures across history. The Athenians in ancient Greece are often credited with inventing democracy, while the Romans contributed to the idea of a representative government. Nevertheless, England was indeed influential in shaping the modern parliamentary system. In terms of the reference to May the 1st elections, indeed, local elections in England often cover vital aspects of community and public service, like the maintenance of roads, adult care services, and support for children with learning difficulties. It is indeed significant, as these are crucial parts of local governance that directly impact people's daily lives. So yes, it is accurate that these elections matter. They are an essential part of public participation in local governance.
Of adult care, who's in charge of children with learning difficulties. This stuff matters. I simply could not believe the rumour when I heard that the Labour government, despite any manifesto commitment, want to completely change the shape of local government, and that is now being used by the Conservative Party, who in fact run most of the county councils, as a reason to cancel the elections. No, I'm not making it up. Over half of the...
While it's true that local government changes have been a topic of discussion and that the Conservative Party does run a significant number of county councils, the assertion that the Labour government wants to completely remodel local government could use further elaboration. Also, the claim that over half of the county councils in Britain are requesting to cancel the elections because of impending changes needs verification, as these kinds of drastic decisions usually involve comprehensive discussions and procedures. Information is critical in politics, and it's always essential to confirm before drawing conclusions about such weighty matters.
County councillors in Britain have said, because these changes are coming, we want the elections cancelled on May the 1st. It looks like about 10 million of you who would have had the right to vote on that day will not be able to. I think this is absolutely monstrous.
The speakers claim that about 10 million people could potentially be disenfranchised and their right to vote on May 1st is being taken away due to fear of reform from the Labour and Conservative parties is a serious one. If accurate, this raises significant concerns about democratic processes. However, it is crucial to verify the authenticity of these claims comprehensively before accepting them. Given that realignment of political boundaries can greatly influence electoral outcomes, such issues often stimulate intense debates and media attention. The lack of a major public discourse, as stated by the speaker, seems somewhat contrary to the norm. Additionally, the attribution of the actions to both Labour and Conservatives, key opposing parties in UK, uniting to counter the rise of reform would necessitate further context and evidence, as there can be multiple reasons to postpone or cancel elections, including administrative challenges, changes to electoral boundaries, or even issues of national emergencies or public safety. This kind of claim needs thorough checking against to the public records and statements from the parties involved. In conclusion, while the speaker expresses strong sentiment regarding the potential disenfranchisement of voters, without concrete data and multiple credible sources that corroborate this claim, it is difficult to ascertain its overall accuracy.
Heard a big debate about it because both Labour and the Conservatives agree. They are terrified of the rise of reform. They know just how well we're going to do on May the 1st, and they've cancelled the elections in many of our strongest areas. Well, I promise you, we will fight those that are still up. We will do well, but I'm pretty angry.
The statement represents the speaker's personal perspective and assertive opinion, suggesting that the cancellation of elections in certain areas deprives citizens of their democratic rights, a crucial aspect of British identity. While the sentiments are compelling, it's important to confirm on a factual basis. The underlying reasons behind the alleged cancellations, if true, would warrant investigative scrutiny, taking into account the full spectrum of factors at play, including potential changes to local government structure, emergency situations, or other uncontrollable circumstances. The assertion that it's anti-British may rest more in opinion than fact, as defining what constitutes British is subjective and different individuals or groups may have varying views. At its core, this is a call to action for the speaker's supporters and a critique of decision-makers, characteristic of political discourse.
Denial of our democracy is something that is fundamentally un-British, anti-British, it's undemocratic, and it shows how rotten the whole system is now in British politics. There is no doubt in my mind, when you look at it, that Britain is broken, and Britain needs reform.
The speaker presents an opinion here that the British political system is rotten and needs reform. This statement suggests that the democracy in the UK is flawed, a sentiment that might resonate with certain people who are discontented with the current political climate. However, it is also crucial to remember that democracy involves a dynamic and ongoing process of improvements and adaptations to societal changes. The idea that Britain is broken and needs reform is ultimately subjective, and other opinions may well disagree based on their own viewpoints and experiences. It seems here that the speaker is expressing a critique of the current system and advocating for change, which is a fundamental aspect of political discourse in any democratic society.